1. Now this is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end. But it is, perhaps, the end of the beginning. Winston Churchill. 2. The best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. Winston Churchill. 3. I may be drunk, miss, but in the morning I will be sober and you will still be ugly. Winston Churchill. 4. A lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. Winston Churchill. 5. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Winston Churchill. 6. Nothing in life is so exhilarating as to be shot at without result. Winston Churchill. 7. Russia is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Winston Churchill. 8. In wartime, truth is so precious that she should always be attended by a bodyguard of lies. Winston Churchill. 9. An appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile, hoping it will eat him last. Winston Churchill. 10. Kites rise highest against the wind, not with it. Winston Churchill. 11. This is no time for ease and comfort. It is time to dare and endure. Winston Churchill. 12. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Winston Churchill. 13. Victory at all costs, victory in spite of all terror, victory however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. Winston Churchill. 14. It is a good thing for an educated man to read books of quotations. Winston Churchill. 15. Criticism may not be agreeable, but it is necessary. It fulfills the same function as pain in the human body. It calls attention to an unhealthy state of things. Winston Churchill. 16. I am prepared to meet my Maker. Whether my Maker is prepared for the great ordeal of meeting me is another matter. Winston Churchill. 17. Personally, I'm always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. Winston Churchill. 18. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Winston Churchill. 19. Christmas is a season not only of rejoicing but of reflection. Winston Churchill. 20. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Winston Churchill. 1. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Winston Churchill. 22. You can always count on Americans to do the right thing, after they've tried everything else. Winston Churchill. 3. The farther backward you can look, the farther forward you can see. Winston Churchill. 24. I am an optimist. It does not seem too much use being anything else. Winston Churchill. 25. I never worrying about action, but only inaction. Winston Churchill. 26. We are masters of the unsaid words, but slaves of those we let slip out. Winston Churchill. 27. Some people regard private enterprise as a predatory tiger to be shot. Others look on it as a cow they can milk. Not enough people see it as a healthy horse pulling a sturdy wagon. Winston Churchill. 28. Let our advanced worrying become advanced thinking and planning. Winston Churchill. 29. The empires of the future are the empires of the mind. Winston Churchill. 30. History is written by the victors. Winston Churchill. 1. To build may have to be the slow and laborious task of years. To destroy can be the thoughtless act of a single day. Winston Churchill. 32. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. 3. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. Winston Churchill. 4. History will be kind to me for I intend to write it. Winston Churchill. 5. If Hitler invaded hell I would make at least a favorable reference to the devil in the House of Commons. Winston Churchill. 6. The price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill. 7. Without tradition, art is a flock of sheep without a shepherd. Without innovation, it is a corpse. Winston Churchill. 38. The truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. Winston Churchill. 39. I am always ready to learn although I do not always like being taught. Winston Churchill. 40. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Winston Churchill. For 1. We have always found the Irish a bit odd. They refuse to be English. Winston Churchill. 42. This report, by its very length, defends itself against the risk of being read. Winston Churchill. 43. We shape our buildings. Thereafter they shape us. Winston Churchill. 44. Ending a sentence with a preposition is something up with which I will not put. Winston Churchill. 45. Mr. Atlee is a very modest man. Indeed, he has a lot to be modest about. Winston Churchill. 46. Never hold discussions with the monkey when the organ grinder is in the room. Winston Churchill. 47. A fanatic is one who can't change his mind and won't change the subject. Winston Churchill. 48. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Winston Churchill. 49. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. 50. All the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in a single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope. Winston Churchill. 51. Never, never, never give up. Winston Churchill. 52. I am fond of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us. Pigs treat us as equals. Winston Churchill. 53. Socialism is a philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing of misery. Winston Churchill. 54. I have taken more out of alcohol than alcohol has taken out of me. Winston Churchill. 55. It is no use saying, we are doing our best. You have got to succeed in doing what is necessary. Winston Churchill.